Welcome to the Overheard podcast, recorded live in Banff. My name is Dan Rudel. My co-host with me, as always,
we got Matty Rage.
Matty Rage, what's going on? Our guest this week for episode number 23, Kev Dev. What's going on, baby?
It's hot.
Hot as balls. Hot as balls
shit.
Podcast. We got Kev Dev live.
It's like the hottest day of the summer so far. I think it's like 37, almost 40 degrees, something like that today.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. I was down to White Swan this morning. We camped there overnight. Did not think it was going to be cold overnight. It was actually kind of cold.
Was it hot yesterday there?
Hot, so hot, man.
Oh, yeah.
Laid by the fucking the water all day. Took the paddleboard out.
Nice.
We were only there for one night, but it was definitely worth it. Just getting our camping gear back in order. I took a big camping time off. Not boozing with camping was like
nice. Different vibe. Not drinking.
It was on. I had a great time this time. It took me a while to like want to get out there to do it though, right? Like
I'd have to take a break for sure.
I took a few years,
At least
hiatus.
a couple summers.
I sold all my. When I moved to Australia, I sold all my stuff off, and it's like it's one of those things. It's going to cost you like probably $1,000 to get back into it.
Yeah, like by the time you get a good
easily.
tenant, oh yeah, all your stuff. This guy went out there with no axe. Where's your water bottle?
Oh yeah, my water bottle. So I didn't have an axe, so I cranked the 10 pegs in with the water bottle. Bing, bing, real like caveman style. Still works, still fine. Sits decently.
I was like, you don't have an axe? He's like, nah, dude. He's like, I just used my water bottle. Like, I mean, testament to the strength of that water bottle.
Yeah, it worked up pretty good. Someone tells me you're a big camping fan there, Kev.
I fucking love camping.
Yeah, big camping guy.
Oh, hell yeah.
What's your setup looking like?
A couple summers ago, we got a camper.
Oh, sick.
Got it real cheap. Nothing really works, but like the propane heater works.
Nice.
And like it's basically kind of a shell, but it's like a million upgrades from being in a tent on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I did yesterday. Thanks. I was.
I don't mind tent camping.
Then you know if you've done it that you're just like, well, that's fucking awesome. You can do that instead of
as long as you got somewhere to chill for like, you know, when it's raining and shit. That's like the good thing about a camper. When it's raining, if it's not leaking like a sieve, it's pretty good.
For sure. Like camper style is the luxury. Don't get me wrong. Like I think that's how like you can go stay at White Swan for 2 weeks maximum. Like you probably wouldn't want to do 2 weeks in a tent, but you could do 2 weeks in a camper like pretty easily, right?
Oh yeah.
You can do a while. It depends. It depends how the level of drinking is. Like,
yeah, good point. Yeah,
and,
if you get out there and get hammering, like
in a heavy duty camp, it's 2 days you're still alive. After the third day, you're like, okay, I need to go to society. And
you're like, I gotta go
have
get
a hot
food,
shower and. Exactly.
Do something normal.
I used to run out of darts all the time.
3 days is perfect.
Yeah, that's running out of darts and booze is like the worst when you're camping. You're like, well, everybody's absolute shit faced. Like, who's going to go get darts and booze now? Call the guy from the taxi company, get him to rip down.
Well, you got to do a pack per day plus one extra pack.
Buffer pack.
That's it.
A buffer pack per day?
Put it in, not per day, but like
just one
buffer?
One pack a day.
Yeah.
Because you'll for sure go through that.
For sure.
And then in the extra pack, put it in the glove compartment. And then like
emergencies
just
only.
in case you're that much of a degenerate, you know,
like
you still have these cigarettes. You still like, because you can't run out of cigarettes.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
especially
awesome.
not camping. That used to be me back in the day for sure.
No doubt.
Not anymore though. I've been off for a little bit. But that's another thing too. Like, you know,
there you go.
Just on the doinks, pretty heavy out there. It was a
the doinks.
Yeah, it was a pretty doink free or doink full.
Doink full.
Doink full.
That's a word. Okay, here we go.
All right, enough about that. Let's get a little bit more into Kev Dev. I have a huge introduction that I totally didn't read. 23rd episode here. We have Kevin James Devereaux. You might know him as Kev Dev, longtime Banff local. You might see him playing some tunes around town at your local watering hole for lots of years now. I know I always saw Kev Dev shows since back in the day. Solo acoustic guitarists and singers. You do covers as well as originals. You have any originals?
Like there's been times in the past when I've done writing, but I don't typically play originals. Mostly covers.
Yeah, right on. You have any shows coming up?
This Saturday, playing with the boys at Mel's.
Cool.
That's like 10 till 2. And then the following Thursday, I'm filling in for Brentley actually now at St. James Gate.
Heck yeah, right on.
Oh, that'll be all right.
So some local action. If you want to get out there and catch your boy Kev Dev, you can go see him this week. So go check out one of his sets. They're awesome.
It'll be a time for sure.
Absolutely, it always is. A little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I grew up in Kitchener, Ontario.
Okay, Dubs.
Kitchener Waterloo, yeah. And it used to be small too back then. Well, smaller.
Yeah.
I think maybe a couple 100,000 people even then, but
Was it? Yeah, I guess, it would have been that many back then. Yeah. It was like London size pretty much. But the same, maybe
I
like
guess if London's
like-
that size, I suppose. I'm not a big population or geography guy, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was an awesome place to grow up.
Nice.
Big family. And I don't know. Been out west probably since 2008.
That was my next question.
Around October we got here. Me and a buddy. It was real kind of weird coming out here because I met up with him in Ottawa. That's where we went to school for a year, and his roommate from when he was in college was like, let's rent a car and we'll drive across the country at the end of summer. We'll make money in the summer and then we'll go out west, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, sick.
And so I get there back to Ottawa and get to the apartment building, and the guy's got a PT Cruiser that he's rented.
What?
Sick.
A PT Cruiser.
You can stand in it.
Of all
dude.
cars, why a PT Cruiser?
Like, I don't know why. And I mean, after this trip, okay, I'll never drive one. I think it's the worst vehicle that's ever really been made. And
Uncle, how do
and
he
I was
swore
like,
by it, dude?
I was like, well, and I'm, there's a reason there's
Oh,
a
God.
ton on the road, I guess. Not a ton, but they're out there.
yeah.
It's like, I guess if you like them things, you just really like them. And
Oh man, how was that being crammed in that thing for however many days?
Yeah, like my life, buddy's life. And then luckily the third guy wasn't moving out, so he didn't have much shit. But like
Jesus.
driving out there, we drove from Ottawa straight to Thunder Bay for
Oh God.
close to 14
I
hours
was
or
gonna
some
say
shit.
that's a track.
And
I know
so
the
the
track very
roommate
well.
was the only one insured to drive the car as well.
Okay.
So during the night on the way to Thunder Bay, he's cranking Red Bulls and pumping the music. It's like, we got to get there, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm in the back seat, crammed between a duffel bag and a guitar, and just like staring dead ahead at the road, and so tired. I couldn't go to sleep because I'm like, if I fall asleep like this, we're going to die.
Yeah. We
Like,
all have to
there
watch
has to
the
be at
road
least
here.
fucking 2 people awake.
You were
at all
you were
times.
babysitting, were you?
100%.
Or like
And then, so we drove and we met friends of theirs in Thunder Bay, partied for a day, took off super early the next day, and Buddy drives for like 20 hours now this time. So we got to Banff pretty quick.
Good
2
Lord.
days?
Yeah.
Damn.
I
That's
think
a
like there might have been a day between like in Thunder Bay,
Yeah.
but not long. Like it was like 2 big drives.
That's wild.
It's like that's how I
wild.
remember it. And it was like in this PT Cruiser. I'm just like, never again. This is the worst car ever.
Like,
It was. I
That's
thought I
not-
was gonna die in the thing.
that sounds horrible. Like every part of, even as soon as you said PT Cruiser, I was like, well, that's the end of it right there.
I was
was it for
Tetris
you?
in. I was Tetris in the back of this thing. Like, not a lot of wiggle room. I was a lot smaller back then, so that was cool. But yeah, it was not a cool drive.
Thunder Bay, Ontario was like the gnarliest thing I've ever seen. We were trying to pick up some beer before going camping, and it was the first time I've ever seen a beer store that you can't like walk around in. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like you walk up to the counter and there's like a menu. Like you can't go
Well,
and
yeah,
walk
that's the beer store in
around.
Ontario. That's just how it is.
No, not all of them, man.
What?
I
Yeah.
know the kind you're talking about, though.
like,
yeah,
like,
like,
like
What?
it
They're
has,
like that everywhere. Everyone is like that.
there's
where I'm
a
from.
lot.
I had never seen one like that
Like
before.
the
but-
ones where I was close to, yeah, you walk in and you're in
just
like
a counter.
yeah,
warehouse,
like you're
right?
just in walking, you go grab
and
your
you
stuff.
grab your own case, you bring it up to the roller there.
yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah,
one
not-
was like
not here, not my hometown. It's ghetto, man. It was the same. You could walk up to
Dude.
the counter.
Well, isn't it like smaller towns that have it that way,
Maybe, yeah.
so that the locals can't raid
Yeah,
the
it
warehouse?
makes
I guess.
sense.
I don't know.
there was a lot of locals will say like lined up around the corner because it was like a Sunday closing early.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and Thunder Bay likes to party.
It was
there's
gnarly.
Thunder Bay likes to
couple,
party.
couple of schools there. We, like I said, we stopped for like a day to party with people And I mean, I barely remember. I barely remember that night.
We had gotten busted that day coming down from Ottawa with a bit of green back in the day before it was legal. So we ended up bumping into some pretty cool dudes that gave us a couple nuggies. But yeah, we were looking for a nice cold beer to take the edge off after being pulled over for a couple hours.
Do they dump all your weed and just smash it into the ground and like?
No, I think they took it.
Oh, they
that
would've
time
took
they
it back
took it.
then.
Yeah,
They used
they
to
were
take it a
smoking.
it was
lot like
OPP,
They
like
were
the highway
smoking.
patrol. So
That's what I always used to say. If they made you stomp it, they weren't smoking. But if they took it, they were definitely smoking it.
yeah, maybe.
You always
I don't
assume
know.
like, oh,
Yeah.
well, they're taking that home for their private stash. Like, you don't know that or not, but like,
Yeah.
as kids, you're like, oh, I bet they're gonna smoke
Yeah. Oh
that.
yeah. When you're like
They're gonna
15,
smoke that.
16,
Totally
you're
smoke
like,
that.
oh, they're gonna smoke it, man.
They're
Yeah, I
gonna
bet you're
smoke
not
my
even
weed.
gonna. Yeah.
He told us like how to get off. Basically, he's like, "Listen, you guys are good kids. Like, you've done nothing wrong here. Just plead deference when you go to court, and you'll be fine." And like, let us go on our way, basically.
Oh, that's all right.
So I've had like both. I've had
could
the
be
cops
worse.
like crush it into the ground before, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
just more heartbreaking as a teenager. Like,
Yeah. You're like,
Could
you know how
smoke
hard that?
Harder
I guess
quarter,
I could-
man.
Yeah.
Do you know
Plus,
how hard that
we were
was,
poor
kid?
back then too.
Yeah.
we cost so much. Anyways, who's your friend that you came to Banff with?
You know, Chan.
Oh yeah, Big Chan.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Nice.
Big Chan's the one he came to.
Oh
Banff
yeah,
with.
yeah.
Good
Okay.
lad. Well,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know on the offset of this thing how many names to name. You know.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
I don't know
He's
if he'll see this, but he'd probably be fine.
if he doesn't, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. Honestly.
Maybe he's at home now watching. Who knows?
So why did you guys choose Banff? You just decided, hey, we're gonna bounce from Ottawa. We're gonna go to Banff to party for what, one summer?
Well, that's a bit of a funny story. We were both in the same first year of this program that was like brand new that year.
College?
Yes, at Algonquin College.
Nice.
And because there was no previous, like all the teachers were new and stuff, so
Oh yeah.
it was one of those things where
What was the course?
it was like pre-music production.
Oh, okay.
And it was one of those things, like I had a buddy who took it a few years later, and I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
then it was like a much improved course.
Yeah.
But when I took it, no one else really had yet.
So there's
So it's like sit in class, listen and do exactly what the teacher tells you. Do exactly that on the thing, the homework, whatever the projects. And you get like 80s and 90s and stuff. Like I was a terrible high school kid. I fucking didn't ever go.
Yeah,
Mostly
same.
I just
I hear
wanted
you.
to go get stoned and,
Nice.
and did. And then, yeah, I guess you grow up a couple of years and I was just like, every time I'd turn something in and followed exactly what they said, it was
They're like, good.
near perfect marks. Because they have nothing to base it on, right? So it's
Yeah, I
like,
guess that's awesome.
like he gave us exactly what we wanted.
it
So.
was like the first time I was on honor roll.
did you? Oh, so you graduated?
It was a 1-year certificate
oh, cool.
thing.
Nice.
So anyways, that was supposed to lead to another program, a 3-year one in London.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, MIA.
Fanshawe, whatever
Yeah,
it was.
MIA,
There's-
Music Industry
there's-
Arts. Yeah, it's a pretty
so
good
that's
course,
like the
actually.
big
It's
one
awesome.
that was we were both going to apply to.
Oh, nice.
I put the wrong fucking course code on my application.
Yeah.
Call them up. They're like, "Sorry, we can't change it over. We can't fix this for you. You have
You've
to
just
basically
applied to the wrong course.
This was in January. Yeah, it was like film recording, fucking something maybe where you'd be a newscaster or something like that.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
And
okay.
at the time, I wasn't keen.
Yeah.
And so I got into that actually. I actually I got into that program,
The
which was
wrong
kind of the
course, yeah.
fucking funny thing. But I wasn't interested. So I was like, "So you can't help me? You can't help me?" And they're like, "No, not till like next fall or something like that."
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, that's fucking bullshit." And like, so I had a few friends that came directly out after high school, and seeing pictures from them, it's just like, holy shit, this is the what's out there. This is like
Life,
no doubt.
baby.
what's out there. So I don't know. I'd always kind of wanted to go west, even as a kid. I feel like that for a Canadian is like, if you grow up east of the mountains, you think that like that's where the adventure is. That's where
100%.
you know what
Well,
I mean.
it's
There's
kind
like
of not wrong. You know what I
there's-
mean? Like,
it's like the Wild West. It's the adventure and the child, you know, where you're, I don't know. I just always wanted to come west. So we were sitting in this shitty bar and
just pissed drunk.
no, not
No.
terribly.
Just enough to
Semi-lucid.
hate the bar and where you were
A
at.
couple deep, we'll
Yeah.
say.
Couple deep.
And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. If I gotta wait that long, I'm just gonna fucking go work for the summer, and move out west.
Yeah, fuck
like,
yeah.
I had a buddy who was
Might as
like,
well.
"Oh, I got a room for you." Like back in the day
Nice.
when like
Yeah, when
you
do
could
that.
rent a room for
Yeah.
like 400, and
Yeah.
I think the first room I ever rented was $425,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, my rent's doubled.
and I was
think, in
allowed
the
to
past
split
10
that
years.
with the other fucking guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no doubt. That's wild.
It was hilarious. That was at Muskrat, and we were there for I don't know 9 months or so. And
God.
for 6 months of that, there was a third person in there.
So what, you paying like $1.75 a piece or something?
Wow, I'm not a mathematician. But whatever 425 divided by 3 people is.
We're not here to split the atom, bro.
I'm not trying to be a smart guy on television. Here.
Oh fuck! What got you into music originally?
I always loved it as a kid.
Nice.
I started messing around with guitar in high school
Oh yeah.
and just doing covers and doing what dumb high school kids do. And
Yeah.
like
Serenade the ladies. You get the ladies,
you're at
dude.
your nerd party or whatever
Oh,
party
yeah.
you're at, and you're just like, yeah, play that song, man. Play that song. I know you know how to play that song. Like, you remember that song you played last time when we hung out in someone's basement? Like, play that again.
Was it Wonderwall?
No, it was fucking.
I played Wonderwall last night in a DJ set. Yeah, I have a really sick drum and bass remix that I dropped last
It
night.
used to always be The Wait by the band, actually,
Oh yeah.
Okay, nice.
Right.
because that's a pretty good party jam. I love the
Yeah.
band.
That was
Hell
that was the jam back then.
It was for our crew of kind of hippie
Nice.
stoner scumbag people.
Yeah,
Like
sounds about right.
everybody's all right because we're just here to party type people.
Yeah.
You know, everything's all good. And
Everything's all kosher.
you know, doing that throughout high school,
Nice.
and then it just kind of slowly builds from there. You play in your bedroom, and then
Yeah.
actually, the first time I actually played live in Banff was Ellis took me down to the open mic at Pump and Tap
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
with Andy and Dave McGlade were hosting back then.
Damn. Like,
And it was on Mondays, every fucking Monday this one summer.
That was a wild one.
a long time ago.
No
So
doubt.
Ellis had been going down for a couple of weeks, and he's like, "Yo,
Yeah, yeah.
Kev, you got to come down. Like, you know how to play those songs, right? Like, just come down."
Come rip it.
So I did, and then I went back like every week for that summer, and then
Nice. That was it.
Andy got me to open for him. Sometime sort of short, once I had enough songs to
Like, have a
have
repertoire.
a set, you know, like
Yeah.
to have a little opening set or whatever. And yeah, that was at the Elkinorsman, and that was 12 or 13 years ago.
Nice.
But yeah, I always loved singing. I always loved playing. It's a crazy high, like music
For
itself,
sure,
right? And a lot of
absolutely.
people, whether you play or not, like get that same thing.
You ever meet someone
sure.
that doesn't like music? They're like, no, I'm just not really into music.
Apparently,
What?
yeah, and I don't know. Maybe that's more common than you realize. Maybe it's super uncommon.
I think it's super uncommon, personally.
That's what I would think.
I feel like you don't hear much of it, but like maybe almost everybody knows. Like maybe one
It's
person
like-
that probably doesn't.
those people are like the people that don't like McDonald's or say that they don't like It's like, oh, I don't like McDonald's. It's like, fuck, Addy. It's scientifically made to taste good on your taste buds. Sorry,
And
man.
it
Like,
does legitimately.
yeah.
I can attest to that. It
Yeah.
does taste good.
Dan, what's your thoughts? McDonald's, yeah or nay?
Oh, man. Like,
Don't do this. I had it for breakfast. Don't ruin it on me.
won't ruin it, man. I don't know. It's been a long time. We'll say that. It's hard.
It's
but,
good
like-
while you're eating it, and then you feel guilty immediately.
Yeah,
100%.
afterwards.
The guilt factor.
That's that McDonald's
is-
shame there.
Yeah, the McDonald's shame. It's like,
If you were to name it,
See, Taco Bell doesn't have that shame. You just want more.
yeah, I got no shame with Taco Bell.
With Taco Bell, I will sit there and eat. I will muck that whole family meal at
they
the
do
table.
like the
Yeah, I
box
don't-
of 20 tacos.
Whatever's
like
the
20
biggest
soft shell
one.
tacos.
Like, give me
Let's
your biggest
go.
Yeah, the family meal.
Oh.
That's what I get.
I feel like, yeah, Texas Mexican, Taco Bell.
So
Doesn't,
good.
Yeah,
it
I don't
doesn't
know.
feel as bad as burgers for me.
It doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, doesn't
It's
always.
been a
hit
while
that
for
badly.
both, honestly. It has.
Usually that's for the
some,
better.
I was crushing some. You guys are gonna some delicious lentil walnut tacos the other night.
What?
Yeah, it's like a vegan style. My girl makes them. It was actually bomb. Like you
I
could
hope
not
you're
tell
honest.
me that
And
it
I mean,
wasn't.
obviously they taste good to you, so that's sweet.
I'm honest, man.
I cannot
I'm telling
imagine what it would be like to eat that,
dude. It's like
and I can't really say I'm super.
it's reminiscent of like taco flavored pulled pork.
Kev Dev's like, I'm going to get him. He's like, I'm getting him
Anyways.
later on.
Enough about that. Who are some of your musical influences? You guys gonna chirp me for eating vegan tacos?
Well,
kinda, yeah.
well, you just veered off. It was tacos, and then you said vegan tacos, and
You lost
I don't know
me.
about you, but you lost me. You
You
lost me a little
at
bit.
vegan tacos, yeah.
Like I say, if they're good, they're good.
Back to music.
Anyways, yeah,
back
sure.
to music.
Uh,
Some of your influences. Who are you into? Who are some of the covers that you like to do? I guess band
Probably like the first thing I remember, as though this happened when I was born, was like when I was
First thing I remember.
First thing I remember.
Light for the first time.
I woke up.
Free bird.
And then,
Ripping.
and then I heard this tune. But yeah, when I was a really little kid, let's say, my parents had like this, you know how in the 90s, like every family household had like a communal stereo record player.
yeah,
They
yeah.
always had big wired speakers.
Yeah,
like
that
absolutely.
32 band EQ, two.
so yeah, we had this one, and it wasn't played super often, but like once in a while. And we had these big drawers full of cassette tapes.
Nice.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah,
To also
Like all built right in.
myself.
they had like the slots built into it.
Well, yeah, like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
custom furniture shit. And so we had, you know, the Beatles cassettes, the red and the blue ones that are like the first one is kind of their lovey-dovey first years, and then the second one is their more experimental, far out there hippie
Trippy
stuff,
stuff.
like
Yeah,
drug-induced, whatever you want to say. I used to love running around the living room and just singing along to Beatles songs when I was really little.
Nice.
Maybe that's it for the singings, but like I've always loved them as a band. Along that same sort of vein, same era type of people like Bob Dylan.
Okay.
The band I love, CCR. Neil Young, I think when I was a teenager was like one of my favorites because I envisioned
Nice.
myself as like the Neil Young, like I
Young
could be
Neil
the
Young.
songbird of my generation.
Like pre-Monsanto stuff or what?
Like kind of like his stuff when he was more doing his own thing.
For sure.
Cool.
Because like a lot of his collaborative stuff was always awesome. But
Well, yeah.
I got to know him better solo than I did with his like other projects.
How would you
and,
describe your musical style? If you had
Probably a connection of old music, new music, folk, rock,
Nice.
reggae, R&B, pretty much everything, and even recently country music, which I never.
Nice.
I always was like, I don't never care.
pegged you for a country
I
guy.
don't never cared for country music,
I don't never cared.
and I never played much of it. I always liked Johnny Cash, Dolly Parton, but I never.
Got Johnny Cash right behind us, baby.
I never played much, but recently I've played more, and I enjoy
Nice.
it, man.
Sick.
And it's one of those things where like
I mean, we're kind of in the place for it.
Albertans
Yeah, no
love
doubt.
country
Fucking
music,
love it, dude.
and
Oh, yeah.
it seems to infect everyone who comes here. Like as soon
Yeah.
as you get here, and then you might have hated it, and then you get to Alberta, and they play country, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, next thing you know,
You
you're
know
at the
what? Country
Stampede.
music's kind of all right. Like
Next thing
I don't mind it.
Stampede.
I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like there's,
And it's
again,
weird.
like,
It's weird, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's
It's
super common here.
It's because
Like
it's
that.
because everybody else is vibing with it, so you're not gonna be like the only one sitting there like.
I just feel like we're exposed to more,
It's
like
different.
more
It's catchy.
serious country music here than you are maybe in other places where it's more like
Yeah.
the poppy country music.
Yeah.
I remember there's a,
which I
like,
don't care for.
well, no, there's a video
it's
that I
bad,
remember they used to
pop,
play
like
where it
pop
was
country.
like it was the 5 top country songs overlapped, but on like the country hit radio, which is like the more pop style country,
Like at the same time.
at the same time, and they
All right.
all followed the exact same like formula. Yeah, it was crazy, and it cut the vocals from one to another. The latest one I've seen is they get AI to make a country song.
yeah, it's so good, dude.
So that's scary.
good. So good. No,
I
like
know, yeah, it's
the
bad.
song is terrible.
Well,
like-
see, that's not even always the case. Sometimes it's like they're learning. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, they've been learning from it. That's what social media was made for.
oh yeah,
Like
Right.
we've been feeding it for years, man. Like
since the smartphone, since
hopefully it'll get people
Yeah.
out of Amazon warehouses and not write the country music, but it's pretty funny when it does. Like big boots, big.
Well, maybe they should
beard,
get the Amazon
got a
people
big
to
truck.
write the country
well, the
music.
thing is, if you give it something half intelligent, I feel like it can come up with stuff that like sounds okay. if you want to come up with a comedy song, it also does that very easily. Just take two stupid random words, and I find it's weird. Like sometimes the thing it thinks of is like you're like, where the fuck did that come from?
How it was described to me is that the AI that we have now is not actual artificial intelligence because it's not actually intelligent. It doesn't come up with new formulations or come up with new material. It rewords already existing things off the internet, right? It doesn't like it doesn't create it doesn't create, it just replicates, if that makes sense.
Well, in a sense, but it's got the entire internet.
Yeah, but it just rearranges the internet.
That's all of the knowledge of mankind.
I mean, yes,
and
it
everything
is,
you read on there is true.
Again, have you seen Transcendence?
Ah, fuck.
It's a movie with Johnny Depp. They're like, he gets the AI connected to the world's internet, and it literally takes everything over and has all these new innovations and whatever. He like downloads himself into the AI.
Oh yeah, I did see that. That was weird as hell.
I can't recall, but it sounds dope.
Check it out. It is super dope. But like, if AI was really connected to the internet, I think we would have a more similar fate to what happens in that movie than to what's happening now. Like, sure, it can make some coolish art. Like, I don't know. I don't see it taking over the world anytime soon.
Wow. When you get proved wrong, you won't be so snooty on that high horse. No, I don't know. It is crazy. And I think it's weird. I think we manifest our future by making movies. Mankind makes movies, and then somehow the things we put in our movies seem to just come true.
Well, I think there's that, like especially with aliens and stuff, like they've been priming us for aliens with movies for like,
dude, if the aliens are coming, you know let's go, bro.
Did they declassify some stuff last year? They said aliens are here. Like
going to space.
They have proof of aliens.
I don't know.
I believe that they do.
I think so.
I've not seen the proof that conclusively I believe, but I believe that they have the proof.
Of course.
Because the government will always hide shit from you. Forever.
That's what kind of makes me laugh about the people that are shocked that the government is lying to them. Like, of course they're lying to you. If they told you the truth, you'd lose your mind. You know,
most
like
people
can't handle the truth.
I couldn't handle that. And you know what? Also, if I have a limited time on this earth, I don't want to have to carry that burden.
Right? Like,
I don't want to handle it.
I don't know. I kind of agree with you there, man.
Yeah, I just want to chill. I'm good on the
soak up the joy, man. You know?
Yeah.
I like it. Wow.
Like, well, if it's a short life, enjoy it. So, like, we can't control that. That's
definitely
inner
not.
circles and all that. You know, whatever.
Unless you run for office. But I'm not running
be
for
the
office.
first honest politician in history.
I feel like you get to a point where you can't be. Like,
no, the game's not set
you
up
have
that
to take
way.
money eventually, and then once you take money, same with this podcast. That's why we never want to take money right now, because eventually you take money, you have to say stuff like,
yeah, you kind of get sponsored into saying whatever,
right?
You know what
like,
I mean? It's just kind of how it works. It's like the same thing everywhere.
Yeah, if people are paying you, they want you to read their script or share their ideas. Where you know, like eventually it just comes down to money.
Makes
right?
sense.
As the little people, we just don't even know. We don't know how it works.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyways, if you want to sponsor the Overheard podcast, give us some money, please. We'll say whatever you want. No, I'm just kidding. What keeps you here in the town of Banff? Why do you stay? It's not the easiest place to stay. We all have troubles with rent. Well, not troubles with rent. It's fucking expensive as hell. But
yeah,
no ACs in the units. Why do you stay? Got sweaty balls.
He said it right, man. I mean, that's the case. And you know what's funny is I think a lot of people who've been here in that time range and longer, it's a bigger group than you'd think, right? Like, how many thousands of people come and go throughout the time, and they're like, we've like known each other. Oh, I've known you for like 12 years, and it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
How does that happen? I think it's because it's especially then, but still an amazing place to get the chance to live.
Hell yeah.
No doubt.
It's not, I mean, I never came here to get rich. I came here to have a great fucking time.
True.
Yeah.
And like through the years, I've met really awesome people here, and I think being such a small town, your circle grew, and it was just like, you got what you need. You got mountains, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so it's just like, the best way to spend my 20s ever.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. We met probably 2009, 2010, somewhere
is
along
like
those lines. Yeah, like
the
right
second
when,
year I was here.
Yeah, that's like right when I got
Which
here. I
is
remember
forever ago.
because I used to work at the Elk, and I remember seeing you play there back when Andy Loops was playing there.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
you
yeah.
started opening.
Well, it's
Nice.
the 3
it's like
degrees
that
of
crazy
Kevin
timeline,
Bacon,
right?
right? Like oh, I knew this person, or I worked here.
100%.
But yeah, it's a great community, I guess, if you want the basics of it.
It's true. It's kind of known as this transient place where people come and go. I'd like to know how many people have like.
Yeah, even in like the
Right?
last 10 years that I've been here, like if I think about all the people that I met that it just like they went back home or had to like go on a work visa, like
There's ones you don't even know anymore after a certain amount of years. Like
yeah, you just
I
forget about the
guarantee
amount of people
you
that
could
you've hung out with
pull up
and met and been
people
buddies with for
whose
a year.
faces I knew and names I knew and conversations, but I'd be like, well, shit, I don't know who that is. Like it's a lot. It's got to be
crazy, yeah.
thousands
Crazy.
And then there's like the core of
gotta
us
be
that are
thousands.
we just never leave. We're just here.
that are still
Yeah.
here, that are still living that sweet life. And
sweet life.
lots of them have grown up though too. It's not like everybody still goes out 6 days a week drinking. Like
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely not. We're talking about sober camping, bro. Like,
which
Sober
I'm
camping,
still
bro.
yet to discover.
I was telling stories. Like, so we stayed at White Swan, Maine. We used to stay at the White River because it was so far away from the other camps, and we would just take up the whole area
Oh yeah.
and blast tunes and party all night till the sun came up. And like,
That's
Good
wild.
days, man.
we were putting out the fire yesterday at like 11, being like, oh shit, we're supposed to put it out at 10. Like,
Just living on the edge.
so times definitely have changed. The town of Banff has changed a little bit. I feel like with the Overheard podcast, we do get even the Overheard and Banff page, we kind of get into that complaininess. Like, it does change throughout time. It'll never be what it once was, but
No.
it's still, I think, the core values of Banff, like the beauty. On a day like today, like, shit,
yeah.
we're finally getting some
Last
summer
few
weather.
days.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
it's been
I
nuts.
took Sophie up Tunnel Mountain this morning,
Yeah, hell yeah.
and like the whole time, I was just like, "This is probably the coolest thing I could do with my day right now."
100%.
And, you know, you get to the top and you're looking out through the valley over towards like where sunshine is and all that,
Yeah, the Bourgeois way.
and I'm just looking at my dog and be like, "Hey, isn't this the coolest shit? Like
We
we're
get
in the
to
best
do this.
possible place we could be right now."
Dog
Like,
doesn't even know how good.
well, she was staring
how good
off,
it
but
is.
I don't think she was as focused
Yeah.
on those deep thoughts. I think for her it was like, when the fuck am I getting home for snack time? We come all the way up here and no snack time.
That's bullshit, man.
I don't know. I think you
But it
kind
was
of
a good moment for myself and her being next to me.
for
There you
sure.
go.
So there.
I did that the other day too. Me and Nat, we went up tunnel. We've been trying to go up there early before it gets too busy. Same thing.
Oh yeah.
And then I had a day shift, so I was working the patio. People were like, oh, what should we do? Blah blah blah. I'm like, you can always hike tunnel. That one right there. Like, I was up there this morning. They're like, what? You're up there this morning? You kind of forget that. Like, if you live in a city, there's
People
no way.
think
you're-
it's crazy.
yeah, they think it's
Yeah.
nuts. It's like, yeah, no, it's not.
Not that bad.
Not that nuts.
No.
Very very fun.
How
Well-
far up can you drive there? You know, how far can I get in my car before I go?
I'm
to
not
hike?
gonna lie. Sometimes I go up to the second starting point.
Depends.
Depends
what
on
I'm
the day.
doing. Depends what I'm doing.
If I'm working, I'm going to that second starting point. Or I like biking up to the second starting point.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
That's a good
Then
call.
you rip down on like it's so sick to rip down
Oh,
on the
I know
bike.
that's fun, dude. You get
Lots of fun.
ripping down there.
Best one's from coming down from Douglas Fair.
That's
yeah.
it.
That one's
Oh,
awesome.
that one? Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
gnarly.
yeah.
They put
It's
in those
deadly.
posts there, like
Oh, it's deadly. No, I
Oh,
do it
yeah.
on the road. That's dangerous, and I don't
Yeah.
recommend it. But no, like the first time I ever did it, I had this hiking backpack, and I had these straps where you'd put your camel pack hose through it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They were like buzzing on the way down. I was going so
Oh,
fast,
yeah,
like
just
buzzing
ripping.
like a bee. And I look at, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I look, and I'm like, that's my bag straps. And I'm fucking flying.
bag strap.
It's so fast.
Oh,
I just
God.
take my skateboard down there, and at one
Whoa,
point, like right
that's
where
crazy.
it turns at the bottom, it's like a little bit convex on the right hand side. So you're making a left turn, but your board is kind of angled away from you.
In rally racing, they call that back camber.
Oh, it's so sketchy,
Yeah,
dude.
it's-
So
it's-
sketchy.
that's
I never
wild.
bailed down that one, thankfully.
God,
but I've heard
that's-
stories like every summer. I remember at least when I worked at Tony Roma's back in the day, every summer there was always the new person who got to town that was like, showed up all scraped up. Like,
They
yeah,
got
I
it.
skateboarded down
so
Tunnel
many
Mountain
times.
Road.
Oh yeah, I've seen it so many
Well, you
times.
see that hill, and you could probably just like when you're young, and I gotta send that. I'm gonna
kinda
have
like
to send that one. There's
Reminiscent
no
of
choice.
snowboarding in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
whatever.
God.
How do you prepare for a show? Say if you were playing a show at the gate, like you say at the gate this coming Saturday.
Mel's this Saturday.
Mel's is coming Saturday. What does that day look like for you? Do you have like a set routine or some like a way you like to prepare?
Honestly, if I'm not working, that's a good day.
Okay.
Nice.
Typically, nothing. Do you know what? It's kind of funny. I think coping with nerves sometimes, like you get to a point where you put off leaving towards the gig as long as possible,
100%.
as though
Oh,
you
yeah.
can somehow prevent those nerves from getting to you. But yeah, not really any routine. Like sometimes if I'm working on a new cover, like before I get confident enough to do it in person, you know, I'll rehearse specific ones, because a lot of ones like I'll play pretty much on a show to show basis or every other show, but I don't practice them anymore after
Fair.
years and years and years, and I don't have them all memorized because there's at least a few hundred,
Right?
and so any given show you could get a slightly different set list, because I never really had set lists either, and my
Can
band
just play what you
That's
want.
awesome. You
my
just get up
band
there
doesn't
and just-
always like that. Like, and it's funny, we have a written one,
Yeah.
but we often never follow that. And sometimes, like, I'll give them a choice of like, do you want to do this one or this one? I'll say it to Shay,
Yeah.
because Carlos doesn't talk. He's just the bass player. I keep saying we got to get him a microphone because he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So it's interesting that way, because yeah, you could show up and like hear a song I haven't played in 10 years or something like that.
I think that's a cool way to do it. You're definitely the first
Okay.
act that is that much off the cuff that we've had on. Like we've had DJs,
Well,
we've had comedians. And it's a lot of like script, like not scripted stuff, but
I
like
wouldn't even call it professional. I think it's like
well, still.
almost the other way. Sometimes I feel like I'm fumbling, you know, because I have these different books. I don't even have to, I'm not a technology prone dude.
I agree with you there. Yeah,
You saw
I'm
me
the same.
struggle with the microphone here in the initial thing. And so, yeah, I have all these books basically. So it's almost like this show of like, what's he grabbing now? How long is he going to take to say the next, you know, whatever.
Yeah, so you're just like,
yes,
look-
you definitely get a variety. But I'm not always great at like the in between banter.
Right.
Fair.
So I'll just kind of
Just let it rip.
silently turn pages, flick through,
Do you have a favorite?
and then I'm like, oh, I like that, and then so it's good. There's ups and downs of the way I do things.
hey, it's a very creative way to do it. Is there a favorite song that you like to play? Like if you had to pick one.
Like what? Even one that would like get the crowd going, or like one that you know will
For a
get.
long time,
people
we would
going.
play The Killers,
Oh yeah.
but not the one where
Mr. Brightside or
No.
whatever? No.
the other one.
What's the other one? I can't think of it.
Blanking on the name.
We can toss it in a little.
I think it's like All These Things That I've Done or whatever.
Oh yeah, that
okay,
one for sure. That's a good
I
one.
don't know. And if it is that one or whatever,
Isn't that like a piano heavy song though?
then it can't be that one. It's one of them. Anyways, but I don't know. I find your favorite song changes over time. Like,
True.
for honestly, even a couple of years, you'll be like, this is like a banger. Like, I used to play The Weight by the band. That was like my first song that I ever was like into playing in front of fucking people.
Yeah, okay.
Because I just loved that song so much. So a lot of those first years, especially, I would play that song at the end of the night, every single fucking night.
The show, the banger, the ender.
The one
Nice.
that made me, it's okay. Either it made me the happiest to sing it, or I knew it was like my best offering to the crowd.
Okay,
'Cause there's ones that weren't always my favorites, but when you play covers, you got to play
To the crowd.
to the
Yeah.
crowd, play
Yeah.
things you think other people will like.
Do you take requests?
We always say that we do, and I definitely, for me, they usually will write things down. If I know it, I'll play it, and I think that's pretty
Cool.
self-explanatory.
Yeah. If you
Some
don't-
people are like, but just like learn it right now.
It's like that's not
You know,
really.
because you know that song, and it's like, dude, yes,
It's not really the way it works.
I've
though,
heard
on
the song.
Stage, man.
I like the song. Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, give me 3 seconds to all the lyrics, good, 4 chords, okay. But like,
Yeah.
that's frustrating because
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Just
perfectly
learn it
fine
on
to
the spot, like-
it's fine to ask. It's always a bummer. Like people get pretty butthurt. Some people get pretty butthurt when you don't know the specific jam that they really wanted to hear right at that point in time.
100%.
And like in my head, I'm like, I wish I did know that. I would happily play every song in the universe for you if I knew that. I wish I did. But I gotta let you down easy.
Do you have like one particular moment that stands out to you?
like one crazy
someone-
moment, like someone just going off because you wouldn't play a cover or something, or just hecklers,
or like a rap song?
just some.
Well,
just-
people ask for weird stuff all the time. There's funny things you can ask for, like Wonderwall or Stairway to Heaven, or the ones.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Wagon Wheel.
Freebird is another one.
yeah.
And like, there's ones like that, but mostly people are just, they look like children and they'll leave.
Fair.
And it's the funniest ones of those are like,
Puffin' and puffin'.
they end up coming back later with their friends. You're like, well, this was the funnest out of the things that we had to do tonight. So we ended up coming back.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing is great. And that's always it. It's just like, oh, you can't do what I want. Oh, you guys are awesome. Sometimes they mean it, and sometimes they don't.
How would you describe the local scene, like the local music scene here in Banff?
I've always enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of individuals and groups in it that are doing a lot for it. You know, the guys that are putting on like all the punk shows and even the different, punk shows, the different things where it's kind of come and gone in waves. There's definitely like a mainstream type of things, like
it is what it is here.
mainstream covers, things that you would hear if you were at a backyard party or something. People want to hear a lot of that stuff, but there is a good amount of original acts, which is really cool.
For sure.
And I think there's lots of places that do music very regularly, and when you have that within such a small space, like, it does become a pretty good scene. Like, a lot of people who play music have definitely gone to the rounds of open mic nights.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like the perfect place for music nerds to meet each other, because you're among same weirdos, kind of same
everybody's
vein of
always-
weirdos. Like, you like music, so clearly we're gonna at least get along somehow.
Right.
And it's a good connective tissue for relationships within music. But yeah, it's a great scene, and there's a lot of diversity, and there's a lot of different places to find it in such a small town. So I've always had great opportunities to play at so many different spots, and
No doubt.
I've always been
Well, for sure. If you think
thankful
of
for all that.
like the Rose and Crown, like playing at the Rose and Crown, there's like bands book there years in advance.
It's,
You know what I
it's
mean?
every
Like-
day. Like they
have
make
music-
it so they have every day.
For sure.
Every day of the year, pretty much bar nothing, they'll have some sort of music, unless a last minute cancellation. And even then,
Yeah, they'll
They
call
still
somebody.
get
They'll
music,
call
right?
Grant. They'll call.
I've filled in.
Yeah,
I've
I was
filled in
gonna
at
say
the
they'll call
Rose
Kev,
because
yeah.
of last minute things, especially holiday time when you got
For
snow
sure.
and shit and
Yeah.
weather, and it's a good scene. I've always enjoyed it.
Nice.
Right on. Big shout out to everyone involved in the Banff music scene. It
No
seems
doubt.
to just be an
All the people, all the
thing.
places, because there's lots of places.
True, there is.
Probably more than I can remember that I've played at, like Old Mel's, New Mel's,
Mm-hmm.
Pump and Tap, Rose and Crown,
You can play
Bruno's.
at the market now. right?
Bruno's.
Bruno's
all
was
right.
awesome
Oh,
back in the
Bruno's.
day.
We spent a lot
Never
of time
did
in
play at the
Bruno's
Devil's
together.
Gap.
What about
But that
Hooters?
was kind of in the works. I never did the Hooters ones either. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
And
There's
you
so
can
many,
name
yeah.
off like
That's awesome.
almost every different places at least tried.
True.
And some places, have been able to keep up consistently with it. So yeah, it's always been pretty awesome, pretty eclectic and vibrant and all that fun stuff.
For sure. We got to give a big shout out to the people attending the shows, of course, and supporting our local scene, because without, people going out to see
They wouldn't do
the
the events.
musicians, they wouldn't do them. So
Yeah.
big shout out to y'all that are going out and attending. What's some advice that you would give to someone that's getting into the Banff music scene?
I would give them probably just the advice that the route that I took. Go find other musicians, go find where the music is, find an open mic night, find even where it's like a local band playing, because you can talk to those guys on their breaks and be like, and sometimes depending how drunk they are, you get people who are like, hey man, like I really love guitar and blah blah blah, and like when you find your right moments though, I would especially recommend like open mics. You find musicians and then you meet people who are already playing places.
For sure.
And they hear you play. That's literally how it happened for me. Was Andy Loops,
Absolutely.
the fucking man himself.
Yeah. Andy Loops have all been to
the man,
Andy
the
Loops
myth,
show
the
one,
legend.
at one
He was
upon a
just
time.
like, yeah, keep her up, bud, and gave me a hand up. And I feel like for a town like this, that's a pretty good way to meet people. For that
For
to
sure.
happen, to meet musicians. Like I say, there's lots of local bands and forming and reforming, and as long as you're in the same place, like that's it. Just get to where the music is and meet musicians, and then
True story.
practice. I guess
Get out there.
That helps as well.
it's as you well know.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
So you heard it here first. Get out there, get out in the scene, and practice. Matt, you want to take our final question off? I usually ask that the last one.
Oh right. Okay. So this one, we've had every guest so far answer this one way or another. The Banff pedestrian zone closure thoughts.
Oh, I think that's a divisive topic. I think it's one that everybody has an opinion on, and some people louder than others. I think that thing itself, like the closure itself, I don't think is the overall issue.
I don't think so either.
We've all lived here long enough to remember when they never shut that down.
Yep.
I don't recall it being crazier then. But also, it was so fucking crazy. So, like,
Yeah, the numbers were about half back then.
there's always problems with traffic, but that's kind of the bigger thing.
Yeah.
Is dealing with, statistically, how many more millions of people are going to be coming here now than 10 years ago, and 5-10 years from now than now, because they're trending upwards.
It's exponential.
We have a limited town space.
We got it.
You would have to basically clear cut the whole entire perimeter of Banff.
for parking.
Make like a
For parking.
like
Oh,
a
God.
Canada's Wonderland Disney World fucking parking lot.
Like 4 hectares.
Set up gates.
Yeah.
Set up gates. Build tunnels for people so that locals can drive in and out of Banff unaffected.
Undetected.
Unaffected and
To
undetected.
ship us underground.
The thing is, back down to what we're talking about. Love it or hate it, I don't think that's going to solve what's the bigger problem with
Okay.
things.
It's a bigger picture
I'm
kind
not
of
as
mentality.
affected by it. I used to live on Beaver Street a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yes, there's increased traffic. There's definitely issues with diverting traffic from Banff Avenue,
Of course.
Right.
but there's also much larger issues of just we're above capacity. And no one's ever going to say, no, I don't want more money.
Very true. Very true. I think like everything else,
Well put.
money is the driver of all of this, right?
We need a bigger town. Yeah. We need a
can't-
bigger town. That's the problem is we don't have a bigger town for 6 to 9 million people to come here.
Well, I'm excited to see what the numbers will be at the end of this year. 4.5 or 4.7, I think, was last year's total.
They
so,
were projecting like 6 or something for this
yeah.
year.
So again,
That's huge growth.
That town parking lot is full every single day now.
I walk by there, yeah, man.
The day when they're parked all along the edge of it too, like it gets real.
It seems to
gnarly in
happen
there.
in an instant as
yeah,
well.
pretty crazy.
Like they funnel in and it fills up. Like you could walk by there at like 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
going for a walk with your dog, come back an hour and a half later, and it's like a full lot.
Full lot.
And then thousands more vehicles a day. So
It's insane. I don't know. It shocks me the amount of people that come to town to not get out of their vehicles or think that they're going to find parking. Like I get calls at work quite a bit if people are like, where's the parking for your business? It's like, well, we don't own parking space. Like, I think there's only one restaurant that does. And even then it's very limited.
absolutely.
So yeah, it's crazy. If you are coming from out of town, take the bus.
Oh, big time.
There's great bus systems now. You can always park in Canmore, have a breakfast in Canmore, take the Rome bus down.
Oh, heck yeah.
The Rome bus is a great little system. Will take you right into the heart of both little towns.
No doubt.
Big shout out to Rome. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is either. My thoughts, because I know you have some experience over on Bear Street, would be to shut Bear Street down. Now they're saying, yeah, there's paid parking there, but I mean, there's not that much paid parking there. It's like 20 or 30 stalls.
It's a few, but
Well,
I mean,
that lot behind the
you'd have
fire
to
station,
you'd
isn't
have to get those spaces
Elsewhere?
to the outside of town.
Yeah.
right.
But you could set that up, and like what they did on Canada Day, I thought was kind of cool.
Well, yeah, that's
you
that's
could set
exactly
that up
what I thought.
as like a market, like an open market, make it proper. Still have it set up for like emergency services, obviously.
Yeah, do your shows there, do your town events
Yeah.
there.
And then maybe keep that open. But would that bring its own set of problems? Absolutely.
For sure.
So, voting yes or no. Obviously, one of those two things is gonna happen. We've built problems that we have a hard time solving now, and it's like we can't turn back.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy. We've built a monster
Gone in
we
too
can't
far,
control.
Well, speaking of voting, that kind of takes us right into our post for this week.
Yeah, let's hit it. A little reminder here. Worried about blocking Banff's main artery? Together, we can change that. Have your say, and you can actually have your voice heard. The advanced polling is starting Saturday, July 13th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can vote before you go see Kev Dev perform at Melissa's. Wednesday, July 17th, 10 to 2 p.m.
Nice plug, buddy.
like
that was
that?
smooth.
That's at the Banff YMCA as well. So just across the bridge, you can experience all the traffic that the closure brings on your way to vote. So make sure you take your vehicle so you're reminded. There's another one on Wednesday, July 17th. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. again at the Banff YMCA. Monday, July 29th, 4 to 8 this time at the Banff Town Hall. Monday, August 12th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Banff Town Hall. Again, I think having these votes right after a long weekend, Canada is obviously our biggest weekend of the year. All these parking woes, all these traffic woes are all fresh in our minds. So whether you're for or against it, like,
You should vote.
I know what I'm voting
should
for.
vote.
Exactly.
Yeah, either
go out
way,
and get
yeah,
your
go-
voice heard. That way you cannot complain on Overheard podcast or Facebook page later on about it, because you have the chance.
When it's especially like if it's a poll of the people, yes, vote. Go vote.
Go vote.
Yep. We
So-
don't get this opportunity very often, so do it up. But
Absolutely.
on to some lighter, more fun stuff this week. We had some
Ah.
fucking doozies.
Dude, we got some doozies. Check this
Oh
one
my
out.
god. Fast as
I
fuck,
forgot
boy.
about this.
Tell you right now.
Bam!
That is a paint job if I've ever seen one. I have no idea what vehicle that even is. I think
It's like a reverse Honey, I Shrunk the Kids
Yeah.
with like a Hot Wheels.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, when they'd have the
Yeah.
flames on them and shit.
Honey, I blew up the kids. Wasn't that?
Honey, I
wasn't that
blew
the
up the
third?
truck.
I had
Yeah,
no
Honey, I
idea
Blew Up
Guy
the Truck.
Fieri was in town. That is Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri gets out of there and he's like, "This truck's a one-way ticket to Flavortown." It's great, dude. He walks right into the fucking.
I'm
Husky.
dining at all the BHC venues this week. No, I'm just-
Oh yeah, this week I'm gonna do the food challenge at every BHC venue. That would be great. Somebody get him in town.
Anyways, hilarious. Whoever, you got to have some balls to drive this around, and you got to know people are chirping you, man. I mean,
I was just think like
don't understand.
how much does it cost at the pump there? How much gas is he putting in that big rig he's got there?
I want to know.
With the prices what they are these days, how much gas you putting in
Well,
there,
you
big
can
boy?
see how much gas he's burning.
Well, it's coming out the wheels
yeah,
there.
it's,
You know?
it's insane.
He's
You can
going
just
through the
see it.
fuel.
It's just golfed in flames. Just golfing, Julian.
This
It's
guy
just golfing.
definitely opposes the tax for sure.
It's not about the tax, but I mean, you got money if you can fill your tank up.
Yeah, this is insane. I don't know which mechanic or car place you'd go to with this idea, and they would be like, "Yes, sir."
Like a Warner Brothers cartoon shop, like
Yeah,
Animaniacs.
Yeah.
Animaniacs shop.
Fucking
You'd
nailed
be
Like, I
going
want my
in
truck
front.
to look like it's in the movie Cars.
Nailed
That's what I
it.
want.
Say
Nailed it.
no more.
Yo, good for you though.
Oh God! If the next one is the one I think it is, this is a nostalgia moment for I think everybody in the room right now. You'll remember.
Moment of silence.
The classic.
Oh, goodness gracious.
The classic.
What year is this from?
Yeah. Well, everybody. So there's pop all over the floor. Everybody starts.
I do remember that.
This is at the Banff McDonald's. The caption said, what does it say? Went in for fries.
Yeah,
It's like a PSA
came for
like,
fries, stayed for the
don't
show.
go out drinking and go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yo, if there's one reason not
This
to
is,
go to
you-
McDonald's.
this is your brain when you
Watch
go out
this.
drinking and go to McDonald's.
My favorite. This
You
kid
fight
comes
on
back
the
in.
soda.
This kid comes back in and slips right in the juice, trying to punch Buddy from behind. Oh, it was great.
Oh,
They're
man.
just like slipping, sliding all over the place.
They're all in velour tracksuits too, which
What's interesting is there's not like 150 people boxing them in. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no doubt.
Back in the day, that lobby was shoulder
Oh
to
yeah,
shoulder.
it was
100%.
wild. You go in there like 2:00 in the morning. You'd be in there 2 hours waiting for your food.
So it got to a point where I'd be like, "Fuck it, we're coming back at 5 when it goes to breakfast."
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, I used to do that. Oh, I've done it before. Just
It
been
was
like,
never busy at 5 a.m.
no, you're like, I'm just gonna wait and get McMuffins. We'll just like go back and drink some more beer, and then we'll just
Breakfast
come
burritos.
back and
Damn.
yeah.
dude. So that post, when that came out, big shout out to whoever posted it. There was like 400 comments. Like it went crazy. And
On the
someone,
fight one there.
yeah, the
Yeah,
fight
okay,
one there.
yeah,
so
yeah,
someone just recently this week went and resurged it, and they were like, in homage to this, like they commented on it and brought it back up. So it's getting a whole bunch of action again. Hilarious. So these guys are slipping on Fruitopia, and I went by actually that same McDonald's a couple days later. Back, I was still drinking back when that happened. That's how long ago it was.
Oh,
So,
it's
like,
quite a while ago.
like
Probably
over-
because you're going by a McDonald's, right?
I was
Like,
definitely drinking.
Yeah.
when you're drinking, you're going by McDonald's, right?
So I thought, part of me, I'm sitting there having a moment of, I thought, like brilliance. I'm like, what if they started fighting and the worker who worked there threw a drink down? Because they couldn't land anything, man. They're slipping. They're trying to punch.
the
and
worker
stuff.
did
Or
that.
the ice machine, grab 2 large cups and just be like,
Exactly, right?
throw the ice across the floor.
Is that
So
what
I went in
happened?
and asked the lady, I was like, did you do that or did they do that? They're like, no, like, that's how the fight started. One dude knocked the drink
Yeah.
out of the other guy's hand.
Oh.
Perfect storm. Well, how many of those fights have there been there over the years?
Oh
Like,
god, I'm
Yo,
they
a
used
lot.
to have security and shit in there all the
Yeah.
time.
It
You
was
just
wild.
need a fucking extra large Fruitopia on the counter, on standby. Fight breaks out.
Make sure they all
spike
know
it,
it's there. Yeah.
Boom. No one's fighting. It's like a skating rink, man. Game over.
well.
That's good stuff.
This question here on the next post is a tale as old as time. I think at this point,
This is offensive, bro.
is there more Aussies or Ontarians in Banff now asking for a client?
I don't know.
Weird they said client and not a
Yeah, I know.
friend.
They're a hairdresser.
They're data mining.
Sounds like a sex
They
thing, to
want
be honest.
They're
how
data
many
mining.
people.
Hey guys, I got a big client here. They really want to know here. They're more Aussies or Ontarians here. We got to make a decision here.
We both drink a lot. I honestly would think that there's more Australians, to be honest. It's
I
just,
don't know.
like seasonally.
Yeah, yeah.
Winter, there'd probably be
A
more
lot of us
Australians
that
I'd
have been
say.
here a long time are from Ontario, but we don't
Yeah.
make up a
No,
majority
yeah,
here. Like,
no.
we're a small group.
I'd
True.
say probably
We
Aussies.
just still know the same people for 10 years. So
Yeah.
it's like everyone I know is from Ontario. So,
Yeah.
but we all
Yeah,
know a
good point, good
shitload of
point.
Australians.
Or
I
half.
wonder what the actual stats would be, and also how anyone on Overheard would fucking know that.
Yeah, that maybe we could do like
Yeah.
Silly question.
we as the Overheard
think there's too many
podcast could do a
municipality workers
poll
there.
on Overheard and Banff. Being
could.
how many? Because
Let's do a vote after when we go to vote for the fucking Banff Avenue closing.
I got the voting fever, dude.
just write on the ballot more Ontarians
Dan's all jazzed.
or more Australians, and we can get 2 birds with 1 stone.
I just want to vote for everything.
Just vote on everything. Dan,
write-
just like
just
give me
write in
another
your own-
ballot.
Write in your own opinions and fucking vote for that.
He's sitting at home practicing. He's like, "Oh man, practice voting at home all week.
Everyone's
It's
gonna
awesome."
vote for this one.
I got political fever. I'm in the shower, just closing the curtain, voting. I'm not doing that. Just
Oh
kidding.
god. Well, we did have a little PSA this morning. Somebody posted this. Says, "Watch your pets. Mangy coyote cruising on Whiskey Creek."
Damn.
That was just down the road from the little studio here. But
Yeah, watch your cats, watch your dogs.
watch cats, watch your dogs.
How's your
They're,
wife?
they're a cunning group of animals. They will definitely get your house pets,
Oh yeah, they're sneaky little bastards. I hate
You
those.
as well
should
as large prey.
You
Oh,
should
yeah.
see the one at the golf course, man. There's one at the golf course. He's
Beast or what?
Oh, I've seen
he's
that one.
huge, dude. He's huge.
Oh,
dude.
yeah?
And he doesn't care about humans. Like he's there hunting the ground squirrels.
He
and
just
like
goes for it.
They're
He's
good
come with
fatty creatures, I suppose. That's why he's the big boy.
100%, man. He's out there like
He's like the lone coyote.
within 6 feet. I'm sure he's got a little fam tucked away in the bush somewhere, but he's out there hunting.
He's
doing
out
his
there
thing.
working.
Yeah,
he's
man.
out there working.
That's
I'd
what
like
I'm saying. That's a coyote you could like state your reputation on. You know what I mean?
There you go.
That's what I'm talking
There you
about.
go. Well, speaking of lone coyotes, I think this the next slide. This guy, I hope this is just a lone coyote here, and this guy is the only instance of this we'll see this year, but probably not. It's just right on the wrong side of the fucking median on Banff Ave, going the wrong way in front of the International Hostel.
I saw this one and it's fucking amazing. I'm wondering, where did he do a Yui? Or like an S turn,
I think he came off
like
Martin.
where did he come
I think he
from?
came off
He
Marmot.
must.
Was it out of the gas
Or out
station?
of off of
Yeah.
Martin.
Was it out of the gas station? He's like,
Maybe.
but I want to fucking turn that way.
Dude, I
yeah,
think he cracked
maybe.
it.
I could be fucking wrong. Maybe he was coming up the wrong side of Banff Ave.
Or
and did
Martin, either one
That
of
makes
that.
so
Yeah,
much
either
sense,
one of
though.
those, yeah.
Coming out
But
of the
like-
gas station, making a left because
and
the
their
median's
and their
there.
GPS
Yeah.
is like
Turn
Make
left.
a left.
Yeah.
left or
Dude.
right. I suppose it'd be a right hand turn.
Are
And
you
he
sure
turned
you're not a
fucking-
cop, bro?
I'm just trying to put myself inside the head of this stupendous person
Put your sunglasses on for a second.
going the wrong day, wrong way.
Yo, that guy's a cop for
my
sure, dude.
God, dude. This
They're
guy's
not
a
aviators.
cop for sure.
It's not aviators. I don't have a handgun or a leather jacket or a '70s mustache.
I was gonna say,
That
yeah,
was
you gotta get the
Like a
stats.
Starsky
That
or
was
Hutch.
some
But
pretty
yeah, amazing.
sound
and a
investigative.
big plug for Red Bull there. Is
Okay.
that a Red Bull truck?
I think so. I don't know now.
My vision
now I
is
want a Red Bull.
slightly blurry.
Bad
But it looks
speed
like
in
a
a
Red
can.
Bull truck in my head.
Everyone's had bad speed,
I
right?
don't know, blue, red.
Isn't
it?
I think
Just kidding.
Is it a Red Bull truck?
yeah,
I
I
can't
don't.
tell
Yeah,
from
it
here.
is. I see the word red right there.
Maybe it's a Red Lobster truck.
If we're getting a Red Lobster, I'm okay
I'm
with that.
in, baby. I thought they went bankrupt.
Yeah, they closed a bunch of locations. It's a big
shit.
travesty. People
And
are
there's
fighting
probably
back.
got to be a half.
There's actually a
still.
vote in the U.S. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's vote on Red Lobster.
God. Let's vote on these dickheads.
Oh Lord.
Okay, this one. I feel like this one
Oh man.
is probably a case of a bit of like monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Where somebody fucking did it. Then people are coming up, and I don't know. When I first saw this post, it was probably in the early stages, and a lot of it was like, "This must be fucking tourists, these fucking bastard
I
tourists."
did a little dive on this,
and blobbity blobbity blah. But I guarantee you,
No, that's not.
If you look through, not that I would, but some of these garbage bags, there's got to be a ton of local people that fucking. Yeah, it's a shitty thing. That probably fucking did it. That's not. I'm just gonna say, there's no way that's all tourist garbage.
For sure. So my breakdown of this, read the comments, went through it a little bit. The location was divulged, saying that there's a staffacom nearby. Now, one other fucking CSI person in the comments was like, all the garbage bags look of the same size and of the same make. So they're like, it could be a business dumping. Supposedly, and I don't want to blame anyone of business dumping, but there's a staffacom nearby which does inspections on a certain day of the week. Now, of course, everyone in the staffacom is going to be cleaning
Oh,
their
like a
apartments
madman.
all on the same day, right? All throwing out their cans and whatever bullshit that they got for the week.
collectively all have the same garbage bags, though.
Well, probably if
Or
they're in a
whole
staffacom, they
staffacom,
could be
yeah.
provided, right? Anyways,
I don't know.
So my thoughts are with the
If
added
that's
of the
true.
long weekend.
If that's true, that's highly coordinated, and
Well, no, like with
Good
the
for them.
added long weekend, right? Long weekends here, people are like,
Yeah.
you know, the campers, the day trippers are going to throw all their garbage out in those bins as well. When that fills up, and then the day rolls around where everyone cleans the staffacom and they're full.
I
they
believe
start
it a whole
pitching them.
staff like filling up a bunch of the same garbage bags over a bunch of random different tourists all just randomly having the exact same garbage
That's what I'm
bags.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
there
So
could be many explanations. Like, where
Yeah.
are these ones again? Do you know?
This one was
this is said Beaver Street, I think.
Like by the high school?
But it also says some people in the comments were like, just
400 block of Beaver Street is what it says.
I know there's a lot of people who have had their ones that are close to their buildings taken away recently.
mine was moved closer to my building. So sick.
I've always
Nice.
been really lucky that I've had them really close, but like I know people that are walking a couple blocks now. So
For sure.
The other thing too is that when they, and not pointing any fingers, but when they took away these ones, I didn't really understand the explanation. Some of them they replaced like the concrete, and that's fucking sweet. But some they just still haven't put back, and it's like,
So there's older bins and there's newer like recycling stations and shit, right?
and that's sweet. Like the
Yeah.
more you can separate and the more people do, that's awesome. But like when you take it away from a growing town, it's like when they took away all the ashtrays from the smokers.
Oh my god, I know. Why would you? Why? Like I
Yeah.
noticed that. It's like why
There's
would
still
you do
people
that?
smoking.
Yeah.
And now you've given
Yeah.
them
Nowhere to put their
nowhere to
butt.
put it. So
Whereas you had one every 10, 15
you got to
feet
clean up
before.
more garbage and litter and blah blah blah. I mean, that's a whole nother
bag of worms.
topic. But
I'm-
it's kind of like that.
Right.
They don't have as much access, and
That's
also
true.
there's probably a lot more people.
100%.
A bigger radius that are going to this as their closest one now, right?
Right.
Well, also, if you take like a building like mine, 420 Cougar Street, which was what, 2 single family homes, which now have like 30 units on them.
Yeah.
So the amount of people in a smaller area,
Yeah.
right? Like 30 people's garbage versus 4 families or 3
Right.
families worth of
Makes
garbage
sense.
is pretty insane.
Yeah.
But I think this is kind of a combination of, probably locals
There's
and
a few factors.
Yeah,
but
like the moral of the post though is there is a link down at the bottom. There's phone numbers for town of Banff. You can give them a call if you notice this type of stuff happening. You can give them a call.
Yep.
They'll dispatch someone to come and solve
and
this
they're
problem.
good with that too.
100%.
They'll
Oh,
get
hell yeah.
people out there. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like they are good at like. There's only so much you can do is with the people that you have and the numbers that you have. But
Right.
like, if like there's people on call, that much we know.
Let's put it this way: it's much easier to take a picture and complain about it online than to maybe give them a call and get something done
Well,
about
and
it.
that's
So,
the-
like, I
that's
think that's
the-
something that we got to do as locals, right?
That's the whole Overheard in Banff thing. Is like people. Oh, what is this? A group to complain and. It's
yeah.
kind of not like it's funny because sometimes there's like random ones that are like feel good ones that are
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
this is a really fun picture of my cat this morning.
for sure.
Good morning, Ben. Blah blah blah. And then obviously you have the complainers and there's also it's kind of like a separate news
For sure.
for locals where it's like check and mainly that news is
Yeah.
check out these dickheads,
Oh yeah.
Which is awesome.
which
Yeah.
a lot of people jam out on that.
Love it.
There's so much to what it is. It's not even one thing, and it's just like you could even start just doing buy and sell posts on it, and I don't even think people would be phazed. It's just like this is just everything now.
Yeah. No doubt.
Everything
It is a
Overheard
bit of
in Banff,
everything,
like,
for sure.
Oh, I'm moving. I got this free shit. I'll put it on Overheard. Guarantee you, someone will take that free shit.
There was a
Except for administrators not allowing stupid shit on Overheard.
I mean, I think the administrators do a great job as for what they do and don't let on. I think it must be a strange thing to moderate.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
Like,
I think it would be time consuming, but sometimes quite entertaining.
I got to give him a big, big thank you for approving my post always promptly and forever. Thank you.
Well, we got one last post here, and kind of like ties in with the garbage here. This would be the only thing that I'm more worried about when it comes to the garbage. Just check this out. Boom, buddy, just climbing this fence here like it's nothing. Watch this; it'll loop over again here, but like,
Yeah.
That's obviously that's a human in a bear costume.
yeah, it's just a human in a bear costume.
So a lot of people think that these bear fences are they're actually wildlife fences. They're not specifically bear fences. They're meant to deter wildlife from entering the highway or using those as travel. Obviously,
He ain't shook.
they're
No,
not
not even.
electrified. They're not
No, and they shouldn't be. That's
exactly.
cool. Yeah.
It's not 100%.
cool. Maybe they could put like paintball turrets.
That'd be dope.
Oh God!
I've
just
seen the like
bunch of
Marks Canada
pissed off
Warden
bears
with
all over the
paintballs,
place.
Just
but,
have like a turret on each post, and if there's a bear coming out of the woods, it'll just ping him.
The tourist gets
ping
out
him
of
in
the
the
car to
ass
take a
or
picture,
whatever.
and they're just like, yeah.
But I mean, that's why we wanted to to show this post on the show is like how many times you see people just on the other side of that fence taking
Oh,
pictures
yeah.
or getting close.
Oh, yeah.
Like they can jump that fence a
Gotta
lot
stay
quicker
in the
than you
vehicles.
think.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
Oh, that thing
That
would
was
be
a
a-
nimble little fellow. I was very proud.
100%.
I don't even
100%.
know him, and I was
Very
proud of
proud.
that.
I saw a little black bear actually today on the way back from White Swan, and the car in front of us, like, we're going up through Radium, and it was on a very like narrow part of the shoulder. So the car in front of us like throws the four-ways on, hits the brakes, like we're on the highway. We're on Highway 1, or we're on 93. Sorry, 93.
Oh
coming
God,
up.
even worse.
Yeah, so like there's
Oh,
no
that's tight.
place to turn or
You can't go
veer.
nowhere, yeah.
And then eventually they realized they couldn't stop and kind of kept going. Thankfully, we didn't have to like stop or crash into them. But yeah, people just come into a dead stop
Yeah, they don't get
right
it.
on the highway.
It's dangerous
It's insane.
down that road.
Dude, it's fun. But yeah, I think that's all we got for today.
That's all we got
Anything
for
you
the
wanna add?
post.
No, I mean, thanks for having me.
Dude, this
it
was
was
great.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks for coming by.
interesting. Veered off track a lot, and that's pretty sweet.
That's part of the fun, man. That's why we do it.
Yeah,
We're
hell
here
yeah.
to chat.
No, it was a good time. Thanks for having me.
Bro,
Fuck yeah.
appreciate it. Thanks for your time. We're working on a next week's guest. I don't have a confirmation yet. We're gonna wait. We're not gonna announce too quickly. Yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned to the social media. Give us
Hell
a
yeah.
follow. Overheard Pod Banff if you don't already. Go see Kev Dev at Melissa's on Saturday. What was your other date?
Nah, the following Thursday at St. James Gate
Following Thursday,
you go.
St. James Gate.
for Irish night.
Go buy this man a drink.
Bam. Or just go see him play.
Or see me, yeah.
Give him
Or
a high
both.
five.
Drinks optional.
Yeah.
There you go.
Encouraged.
Definitely
Optionally
encouraged.
encouraged. I like that.
There you go.
Right on. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We will catch you next week. And like every week, see you next Tuesday.
Coordinated.